Born Richard Redwood Deupree in Norwood, Virginia in 1885, the future leader of the P&G Corporation came from humble beginnings. Daughter Elizabeth Goldsmith remembers him well.
Well, he was a great guy. He was born of a very simple family, and his mother was a very strong woman. Whenever I think back on the amount of poverty and lack of really expensive education that he had, I'm still impressed. He loved Mr. Proctor and he loved the company.
Grandfather was, I think, genuinely the right person in the right place at the right time. Cincinnati was a perfect context for him. American business was really just beginning to burst.
Richard Deupree is truly Cincinnati's own Horatio Algier success story. Beginning as an office boy in the Treasury Department in 1905, he showed prowess in every position he attained through 68 years of service to the P&G companies. As general sales manager from 1917 to 1927, he completely changed how P&G sold its products by creating an internal sales force and all the processes necessary for support. Deupree implemented industry-changing standards of employee relations based on the legacy of Mr. William Cooper Proctor, the last family member to run the company. Among those industry-changing standards, the establishment of the 5-day, 40-hour work week and a vacation plan, as well as improved profit-sharing plans through the years. In 1930, he was named president.
Richard Deupree played a really pivotal role in the history of Procter & Gamble. He inherited a company that had been run for almost 100 years by the Procter & Gamble family. That could not have been an easy transition.
In the depths of the Great Depression, when everyone at P&G made do with salary cuts but still had jobs, his one-half salary was still quite high. In addressing a meeting of employees, he asked, "Anybody think I'm not worth every penny of that?" The audience, as one, stood and cheered.
It was so tough that in the factories where I started, to get a new pencil, we had to turn in the stub of the old pencil to get a new pencil. That was how strong the economy move was and how necessary it was to keep things going.
By World War II, Procter & Gamble had become known as a company that got things done. Without any prior experience in the business, he oversaw the construction and operation of 2 massive munitions plants in Tennessee and Mississippi that were constructed in record time and set new records for productivity. Before and during World War II, Richard Deupree became an advisor to in-turn President Roosevelt. President Truman, and President Eisenhower. As a $1-a-year man, he didn't get to finish a complete year. He kept his docked paycheck in his files. After the war, he was given the unprecedented assignment of Executive Chairman of the Army-Navy Munitions Board. No civilian had ever held such a post, which gave him primary authority over all procurement for the military forces of the nation. This included a tour of war-torn Europe and evaluation of everything learned during the war. At home in Cincinnati, P&G had one research project that had been pursued during the war that was presented to a top management meeting. The application was for a new kind of cleaning agent, a heavy-duty synthetic detergent that could well change the entire industry. The stakes and the costs were high. That product would become Tide.
So when Richard Deupree made the final decision to switch Procter & Gamble from a bar soap company to a synthetic detergent company, he basically bet the farm and decided that this was the bet that Procter & Gamble had to make to keep it a vital and innovative company in the future. And he was right.
In later years, he became honorary chairman, a role he relished as it allowed him to continue to rally the troops and monitor progress of the company he had seen grow and change through the years.
He was always interested in growth of the company and the diversification that was going on. We had gotten into health and beauty aids and toothpaste, that sort of thing, shampoos. He was always interested in that. But he always stressed people, the people in any part of the operation, be it basic research or product development or consumer research or sales. It was the people that he stressed, the importance of them, treating them right, bringing them along properly, giving them good training.
He also had more time for hobbies he actively pursued over time.
He was very much a man's man, but he sincerely developed community hobbies, if you will, and sport hobbies and interests around the world.
He had a real passion for horse racing, and he was very keen on that. I remember one incident. I lived on a street that he used to use to go downtown, and I would see his car occasionally on the street. And several Sunday mornings, I noticed a blue streak going down this street. It was his old Cadillac coupe that he drove for many years. And Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, I saw it several times. And I thought, well, that's strange. You know, the CEO headed down, and I wonder what's going on. Well, what I learned was he was really headed downtown to get the racing for him.
In the P&G archives, we found a recording of the radio broadcast of the dedication of the memorial to William Cooper Proctor and some rare silent film clips of the event. Put together, they give a brief glimpse of Richard Deupree as president of P&G for the first time since the actual event 70 years ago.
Mr. Deupree, the president of the company, we are gathered here today to do honor to Mr. Proctor, to dedicate this memorial to him. For the simple reason that once a good procedure is demonstrated, other employers put it into operation. And therefore it seems most fitting that the workers of Ivorydale and our other plants, in conjunction with the employees of the sales and city office, the executives of the company, and the company itself, should join hands as they have done in erecting this memorial to William Cooper Proctor. He lived a life of noble simplicity, believing in God and the inherent worthiness of his fellow man.
This could also be a quite fitting epitaph for Richard Redwood Deupree, a man who rose to trust and prominence on the basis of keeping it simple and always doing the right thing.